Thanks to its very successful businesses, Sony may not be in as a precarious a position as the likes of HTC or BlackBerry, but it's plainly obvious that the maker has been having trouble in mobile for a while. Now ditching the Z series of old, Sony is transitioning to an X series branding, and the Xperia X is the first of the new family we get to review. This move is supposed to be a showcase of Sony's willingness to get back to the drawing board and reimagine at least some parts of its mobile offering. But with an asking price of $550, Sony is setting the bar for itself in the Xperia X pretty high. This is Chris with PhoneArena. Let's see if they pass the test. If you've ever held Sony's Xperia Z5, then you likely know just how uncomfortable it can be. The frame towards the back cuts into your hand unpleasantly, and the frosted glass is very slippery. With the Xperia X, Sony fixes the former issue, but not the latter. If we are to continue this parallel with the Z5, the Xperia X is different in many other small ways. The glass up front, for example, seamlessly flows towards the sides, creating a beautiful effect. The Xperia insignia etched onto the left side is no more, and the only branding on the back left standing says simply Xperia, no Sony and no G-Lens cheat sheet next to the camera. In short, all of this combines to give us a clean, distinctive and very attractive exterior. Sporting a 5-inch panel, the Xperia X offers an IPS LCD display with a 1080 by 1920 resolution. And if you're after the typical AMOLED effect, meaning obviously overstated colors, then you're actually in luck. The Xperia X's screen is indeed not at all color correct. Color temperature is too high, resulting in bluish whites, and colors are decidedly overstated. On a more positive note, gamma is spot on, and both maximum and minimum brightness are just excellent. Sony is known for its light touch when it comes to scanning Android, and the Marshmallow build running on the Xperia X changes none of that. It's still a friendly and ultimately understated execution. A few standard features have been made available with the X, including the ability to double tap the screen to wake it or put it to sleep. The icons in the settings menu are also different, and so is the arrangement from that on the Z5, though we've got to say that the new style is neither an improvement nor a step back. Finally, taking cue from Apple's iOS, Sony is also letting you quickly search for apps by swiping down anywhere on the home screen. Making use of the hexa-core Snapdragon 650, the Xperia X runs great on the latest Android Marshmallow build of Sony's custom UI. Navigation is buttery, load times are satisfactory, and you can actually do some more serious gaming thanks to the Adreno 510 GPU. On the memory front, the X brings it with generous 3GB of RAM and a choice between 32 and 64GB of built-in storage. If either of these options sounds insufficient, rest assured that you can expand through a microSD card for many times that. The Xperia X comes packing a homemade 23MP Exmor RS sensor with an aspect ratio of 4:3. To help with focus performance, the Sony Alpha team ensured the X offers predictive hybrid autofocus for quicker locks. Up front, we've got a very generous 13MP Exmor RS sensor with wide f2.0 lens. On the software side, we're treated to an experience identical to that with the Xperia Z5. The camera app is more minimalist than before and offers easy and quick operation. Standout features include the ability to turn on the camera through the physical 2-step shutter key on the right, but also by double-clicking the power key, along with some special modes such as face in picture. Shooting in the native but not default 23MP mode, we get shots that are very consistently characterized by a few glaring issues. First off, detail is soft and all kinds of muddy, and falls behind in terms of clarity when compared with stronger rivals in the field. There also seems to be a very serious problem with blur. The middle portions of images are sharp, sure, but towards the edges, and especially the left side, lens distortion is pretty significant. Noise is also a bit on the strong side, and noise-reducing algorithms only further soften very fine detail. As if not enough, dynamic range can sometimes be rather poor. On the plus side, focus is really fast to lock, though Sony's claim of less than a second from standby to a focused image are highly exaggerated in our experience. Unfortunately, low-light photography is no better, with more of the same. Added on top, however, the Xperia X just can't handle bright light sources at all, and snaps are even more blurry and detail mushier than before. Despite the Snapdragon 650 being capable of 4K UHD video capture on paper, such a mode isn't available with the Xperia X. Instead, you get 1080p capture at either 30 or 60 frames per second. As for quality, we're actually very pleased. The steady shot tech works well, stabilizing footage, and overall video and audio quality is pretty good. Detail is decent, frame rate stable, with great color fidelity and dependable exposure control. Partnering with a company called Qnovo to offer supposedly superior adaptive charging that will allow the 2620 mAh battery inside the Xperia X to last and stay healthy for longer, Sony claims up to 2 days of battery life. In our experience, that particular claim is a bit on the far-fetched side, though we imagine it's not impossible if you're a light user and let the X idle a lot. More realistically, however, you should expect the Xperia X to last for a bit over a full day of usage. But if you game often, overnight charges will be absolutely a must. An edge in a world of round, the Sony Xperia X is a rather uniquely designed smartphone that we can't help but feel attracted to. It's well balanced, really, and comes across as approachable. A decent job from the Sony design team, sure, though the issue with the slippery back remains. The camera is another sore point with the X and ends up costing it a lot, especially at that price. And really, at $550, today's market is just too crowded and too competitive for the Xperia X to really leave a mark. Knock a few $100 off the price and it probably has a good chance. As it is, however, it's only kind of okay. Once again, this was Chris with PhoneArena. Thank you guys for watching.